Hey guys, it's Megan, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about when I was traveling alone for work and my experience with that and all the thoughts and fears that I had going into it and how it all worked out in the end. I was inspired to do this video because one of my subscribers, Melanie, asked me about how it was to travel alone for work. And if you guys watch my vlogs, you saw that I went to Wisconsin. It's like 2 weeks ago at this point, which is crazy. Life just flies by so quickly. And I traveled there alone for a conference that I was presenting at, and I was the only person from my company going, which I was really worried about, just for a lot of reasons, because traveling alone, especially as far as I traveled, because I live in Pennsylvania, going all the way to Wisconsin, definitely quite a far trip, and I had layovers, and it was just like long, exhausting travel days to get there. And then I don't know, just traveling alone in general, and like knowing when you get to the destination that like you don't know anyone. I'm a friendly person, but I'm not really an outgoing person in general. Like, I don't just approach people and talk to them unless I'm kind of pushed to the point where I have to do that. This experience was really good for me to push myself to do those things, because traveling alone and like the stress of like airports and stuff like that. I traveled alone in college when I dated someone that lived in Boston, and so that was like not the part of traveling alone that really worried me, because I knew, okay, I've flown alone, I've like gone through all of this by myself, and not to say that it's like easy or not stressful. Like, I still am so stressed whenever I go to an airport and there's just so much security, and like the timing of everything is so crucial to be there early, and it's definitely like a stressful experience whether you're there alone or not. Honestly, I think I'm a little less stressed when I'm alone. It's just a different experience to be traveling alone and just having to worry about yourself. So that was something positive out of it, that I was like, okay, I know that I can get through security on my own, find like the terminal, all that stuff. I didn't have to rush to be on anyone else's schedule, which was nice. So once I got into Wisconsin, I was like, okay, I don't feel as nervous anymore. Like, I do feel nervous like as a woman to be like in the taxi. I was just like there with like a man who's the driver, and I'm always like very conscious of those times, and like I would text my family like I landed, I'm in the taxi. Like, I would text them like throughout my travel day, so then they knew like where I was. And this might be like extra paranoid, but whenever I'm in a taxi, especially somewhere that I don't know, I put the address on my GPS on my phone and see if like the person is driving the way the GPS says to go. So that's something that like, I don't want to make you paranoid. I'm a very like paranoid person, but just to have like that kind of like security of like knowing, okay, they're going like the right way, or like the way that the GPS is telling you to go, it just helps me feel more like safe in a way. I like had no reason to think that anything bad were to happen, but it is just something that I'm very like conscious of, and I'm sure most women are as well. So everything was fine. Everyone in Wisconsin that I like interacted with was super, super nice. So when I got to the hotel and I checked in, my favorite part is that I didn't have to do anything. When you're traveling with other people, you have to like compromise, of course, and do things that maybe you don't want to do at that exact moment. But when I was traveling alone, I could literally like just take my time unpacking. I knew I had to eat dinner, so I was contemplating, should I get like room service or something and like not even leave the hotel? But then I was like, there's so many good places that my coworkers who had been there the previous year had told me about. So I was like, I have to go get dinner, why not have fun doing it? So there was a lot of places in walking distance from where I stayed. So after I like completely unpacked and like set everything up in my room exactly how I wanted it, so I felt like I was starting the trip off on like a good note. So I had all of my clothes that I was going to wear for the conference like hanging up, and like I had all my skincare and stuff out in the bathroom. Like it was just these little things that made me feel more like settled in, I guess, to the hotel. And even when you travel with other people for work especially, you probably aren't sharing rooms with people, but I didn't feel like rushed, and I wasn't like, okay, I have to go out to dinner at 7 o'clock or something. Like it was just whenever I was ready to do something, I could do it when I was ready. So I walked to the dinner place and I just sat at the bar. I think sitting at the bar when you're eating alone is my ideal situation. Like you don't have to be like table for one or something, like, which there's no problem with doing that, but just for me and like kind of my nervousness and insecurity of being alone, I thought sitting at the bar was like the perfect solution for me. And I've done that before, like in my own town when I go out somewhere by myself. Usually I'll sit at the bar because at least then if you want to talk to someone, the bartender is there, and like there's just, I think it's just more comfortable to me to sit alone at the bar. It was really cool because all the bartenders were women, so they were all really nice. The like Midwestern stereotype of very friendly people is very true. I don't even know if Wisconsin is considered the Midwest, but to me it is. I knew I had to get cheese curds, so I got cheese curds. That was like the first thing I ordered, a burger and a s'mores milkshake. It was amazing. So I just had a really nice time eating there. Like I was just on my phone. I was kind of watching, they had like a football game playing, but I don't really care about football, so I was kind of watching that. But it was just like a nice like chill dinner, and like I ate pretty quickly, so I wasn't there for like a long time, and then I could just walk back to my hotel. And then I think I just watched like YouTube videos. Oh no, I read in my hotel room. So that was really nice to have that first night be pretty chill. And so I would just say that traveling alone is not as bad as you probably think it is. Like there are parts of it that are definitely more nerve-wracking when you're alone, especially going somewhere that you're not familiar with. Like I've had to travel into New York City alone for work and like meet coworkers there or just be there by myself, and that was definitely like a scary, like nerve-wracking situation like leading up to it, because I was just so worried and in my head about it, like, oh my god, I am not gonna know where to go, I'm gonna have to like hail a taxi, oh my god, like all this stuff that I was worried about leading up to it. But then when you actually go and you do it and you push yourself to do those things, it's not nearly as scary as the anxiety of like thinking about it and all the possibilities that could go wrong. Like in general, most of the like things that you can think of and imagine that can go wrong will never go wrong. And just like being confident that you can do it. And my like favorite phrase when I'm traveling or like in the city or something is just like fake it till you make it. Like look like you're in the know, like look like you know what you're doing. Don't like give off that you're scared. Like that is my like number one like thing that I think to myself. I'm like, if you just act like you know what you're doing, you will be fine. Like somehow you will survive through this experience. So that's worked for me. That's just something that I have personally done that has helped me. I'm sure it doesn't work for everyone. I think the hardest part when I was traveling alone was going to events and going like by myself and having to like talk to people and approach them, or like sit at a table with strangers, or sit by myself and hope that strangers come and sit with me. Like those types of things definitely make me nervous and bring my social anxiety out, and I'm just like, no one wants to talk to me, blah blah blah. But like that's not true, and sometimes you have to be the initiator of things. Like it's not that no one wants to talk to you, it's that no one like I don't know, I think that a lot of us have like a lot of fear of talking to others. Like sometimes you could be like in a group of people and no one initiates talking, and so everyone's just sitting there like silently, and I think all it takes is that one person to like start a conversation, and you don't have to like carry the conversation for the rest of the night, but just to like be open and be like, hey, my name's Megan. If you just introduce yourself to someone, I think that that will just naturally lead to conversation, and just bringing up random things. Of course, if you can talk about like the conference that you're at or the like occasion that you're at, that can be really good to have that like instant connection because you're talking the same language and you have like something in common. But I don't know, I just think that doing this, not only like traveling alone, but obviously presenting to, I think there was like 200 people in the crowd. Like when I think about that, I get like nervous sweats. Like I cannot believe I did it, but thinking about it is worse than actually doing it to me. Like I can think of so many things to be scared of and nervous about, and I can get totally in my head about it. But if I just go and do it and I don't overthink it, which is hard, trust me, but if you just like think about the experience and that like you are a strong, powerful, amazing person, you can do pretty much anything. And just having like that inner confidence that, of course, I'm not like through and through confident in myself, but just like reminding yourself that you can do it, you're a very smart person, all those things, like you know what you're talking about. Those types of things really helped me like conquer some of the fears that I had when I was traveling and also presenting. And still, I cannot believe that I did it, and oh my god, I'm so glad it's over. Like that's all I can say. I don't want to be a presenter like all the time, but it did give me a lot of confidence and reinforce like that I can do things that make me nervous. And it was just a really like powerful experience, and so many people were like, you did a great job and stuff, and that's just really like positive affirmation that I need. And it was just really a positive experience through and through. Like of course there were like nerve-wracking parts and stressful parts, like traveling home alone on the final day. Like traveling home after the conference was just such a long and exhausting day, and I just wanted to like break down and cry. Like I saw so many little kids like exhausted and crying, and I was like, I just want to do that because I just want to go home. But like you just power through. But I don't know if that was helpful, but that was like my experience with doing it. And on the day that I had like nothing to do until the evening when there was a like event, I had the whole day that I could just do whatever until the event that night. And I just like pushed myself to go out and grab breakfast and walk around the area a little bit, and I did some shopping because I wanted to get something for my presentation outfit. And then I just went back to my room and just chilled for like a few hours. So it wasn't like I was constantly pushing myself, you have to go be out and do things, but like especially around meals and stuff, I was like, okay, you might as well go out somewhere instead of just sit in your room and like order room service, which there's no problem in doing that, but I just didn't want to do that because I was afraid to go out and eat by myself or whatever the case was. So I feel really proud that I did that, and it's not something that I want to do all the time. Like I like traveling with others as well, but it was a really good thing to push myself out of my comfort zone for that. And I hope that this is helpful, and I'm sure if you're traveling alone, it will go fine. Just have confidence in yourself and know that you can do it and get through like the scary parts or the nerve-wracking parts. And trust me, it's like a lot less like scary than it actually seems in your head. It's just one of those mind over matter things that we all have to go through it to like learn from it, but trust me, I know that you can do it. You'll be so much better off for doing it because you'll know that you can do it next time, and that's just a really good lesson to learn. So I hope that was helpful, and I don't know. I never know how like my advice will apply to others, but that's just my experience, and I hope it was helpful, especially to you, Melanie, since you asked me to speak on this topic. And yeah, so I hope that that was helpful. So if there's anything that you guys ever want me to speak on that you hear me mention in my videos, or that you're just curious about, let me know and I can do like a little chat video with you guys to speak to that topic and just my experience with it. So I hope that this was informative or interesting or something. I'm not feeling like 100% today, which I'll talk about. I'm not sure when I'll be able to get an allergy test, but I've been having some like food allergy issues and I just need to figure this shit out. So yeah, I'm feeling like a little bit drab today, but I put on like a new sweater and do my makeup and stuff to fake it till I make it, of course. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.